Now, what is this beta? Beta is a risk, beta coefficient it is called. It is a tool for assessing the risk. Because once you know this is the risk you are taking, then you expect it must return. If you are see, the actual return is nothing unless you know what is the expected return. For example, in a BCom exam, you may get 80 marks. But in a CA exam, getting 60 is different. So you cannot compare both of them. So beta is a risk coefficient, and it is a tool which can help you in measuring the risk, expected return. Take example of 30 students in a batch. 30 students are there in a batch, and in this 20 students, they got 50,000 rupees salary, whereas 5 students got 60,000 each, whereas another 5 students got only 40,000 each. Obviously, you can say the total salary received is 15 lakhs gross for 30 students. So average salary for this group of students, let us say these MCom students, is 50,000. So now when we want to say that obviously these people have got 60,000, that means 60 divided by 50, that is equal to 1.2. And 50 divided by 50 is equal to 1. And 50 divided by 40 is equal to 80. And here, if the average student, this man is average student, so the beta value is 1. Stock market, if you take, stock market is the average, the index represents average of the shares. Some shares are performing well, aggressive shares. Some shares are not performing so well, expected to low risk shares. So first step is, this is called beta. The value beta coefficient is 1. In other words, it represents average. Suppose the particular person, particular project, the beta is 1.2. That means it should earn 1.2 times the return of the average. Understand? So first step is, what is the expected return means, what is the return from the share market index 1? Let us say 30% is the average return. Your beta value is say 1.5. You have to earn 45%. Otherwise you are not performing well for the risk taken. If you are earning 40%, your value will fall. That is the subject which we are going to see. So we started with an explanation wherein the valuation of an entity will depend on comparing the actual return with the expected return. If suppose actual return is more than the expected return, you will go at premium. For arriving at the expected return, we are now going to introduce the index called beta. What is this beta coefficient? It is a model derived from capital asset pricing model, very useful to find out the expected return, which I will take up how it is derived. First, I am introducing you to the concept of beta. So, what is the beta? Beta is, value of beta is 1. Suppose if you take share market, the index is 1, average. Suppose if you measure the share beta, which I will tell you how to measure, is say 1.5, that means it should earn a return 1.5 times that of this thing. That is called as, first step is beta coefficient. Now friends, two important points I want to explain you in this visual. Suppose if you are taking a project or a share or a company, everything from the lender's point of view, when you are investing in a particular share company, which is represented by share listed in the banks or the stock exchanges, the company is like a baby. The investment, the portfolio is like a baby. That means baby means you have to take care daily, every minute. That is first one should understand. There should be some continuous monitoring and appraisal because various news are coming in. The information flows are the basis for all the things for your decisions. What's called as information flows. Now there are two types of informations. Information one is called as anticipated information. So the experts are sitting and understanding the global factors. There will be research is going on and continuously the stock market analysts are there. High level, they are now India, they themselves rating Indian and agencies are there. McKinsey, Morgan and Stanley, and of course there are a lot of allegations that they are bribed and they will rate you. But then there is some rating agencies which are trying to give some index, something like that, and that they say it will facilitate money coming into India. But some yardstick somebody needs about a company. Investment first starts with understanding the anticipated factors that are going to affect the return. So, in relation to a portfolio or a project or a company, there will be two types of information flowing. One is called as anticipated informations. The experts first take all the factors that are likely to impact the company and then how they will react. So, price will be factored. Second is unanticipated information flows. That is, you don't expect. Suddenly it will shake these things. So, unanticipated informations, then you have to be geared up for it. Because whenever you are investing as a banker in your company unit, you are bound to be affected by that. So, that's called as information flows. Nobody will pay money for anticipated information. For example, if a person jumps from 5th floor and he dies, nobody will sympathize with him unless he suicide. When a person is just walking and somebody pushes him, then he dies, then people will expect. Because second one is not expected. First one is not expected of him to do it, suicide. You understand? So therefore, there are two types of information flows that are going to affect the things. Continuously they will be analyzed. So everybody thought in Gujarat, Modi, BJP will get 150. No chance like this. Then all the media were shouting, writing, who and all. Over a period, the party realized that they may lose their election. They were jittery. Everybody, you can see our Prime Minister crying and trying to garner sympathy. And the person who was thought of not as a leader has become a big leader. You may abuse XYZ, that is not the problem. But the situation is a fact we have to accept. You understand? You cannot be a fanatic when you are investing money in investments. You can be a fanatic when you are expecting some return from that particular belief. That is the reason. When an investor should be very unbiased, he has to go deep and then assess. And suppose something happened to the Gujarat elections, the share market would have collapsed. Of course, they will collapse in a matter of some time later also, there is no issue. But then they were thinking surely he is going to win. BJP will win 150, it's not that they got 99 seats, but still they won. By chance they are not won. And of course, this will be a pointer to the coming elections in 2019 and various factors. Continuous information flows. You can't say you just sleep well and after 1 year open, what happened? Doesn't matter. It's continuous flow. So, the risk that arises only because of information flows. And the way in which you react, that also makes the difference. So, there are two types of risks. And diversifiable risk and non-diversifiable risk. See, this diversifiable means you are investing in a company and there is a perennial problem with regard to labor. There is a demand, sudden competition has come and this company is not geared up. Like Anil Ambani, he is not able to gear up. And Malia, you know that is mismanagement. you understand the company is being mismanaged, diversion of funds, nothing is doing good. This is an inherent risk. The risk the banker would have understood and then should have got out of it. Instead of that, they went and lent it. So diversifiable risk is the risk that can be eliminated. And if you don't eliminate it and suffer risk, then nobody will compensate for it. That means this is driven by company specific factors. Company specific factors. Driven by company specific factors. Level, strife, mismanagement, competition, power failures, and any factor. When you think these fellows cannot manage this risk in your country, better to get out of it. And there is another risk which is called as non-diversifiable risk. It depends on, this is a company specific risk. This is a risk based on macro wide factors. For example, you are a bank. How will you measure the share price of a bank? First and foremost step this year, banker will first have to look at the monsoon. Because when monsoon is good, India 70% of the GDP, 70% is agricultural driven. If the rains are going to be good predictions, then farmers will take loans. Farmers will buy tractors. And if the rains are good and then harvesting season, they will purchase. Their consumption patterns will be driven. So all round prosperity will be there. So that is one factor. Because rain coming, or supposing they say rain coming, it affects all the banks, all others also. If rain not coming, it also affects. But the effect will be different. Suppose if it is depression, food industry is not affected much because everybody has to eat. Whereas if you are luxurious industry, diamond, gold and all, that will be highly sensitive to the fluctuations in the economy. And that is what one has to see, flexibility of that. So therefore, this is a non-diversifiable risk. It depends on macro-wide factors affecting various companies differently. Food products is affected less. So the beta value of the food product may be less than 1. If it is a furniture industry or a travel tourism industry, they will be affected. Their beta value of maybe 1.5. So therefore, this is called as beta. Non-diversifiable risk can be quantified through the medium of beta, and which can be done through a mathematical model. It's nothing but fluctuations in the expected cash flows. That is called as beta. But as we explained the last slide, the beta value of the average security is 1. If it is less than 1, it is called defensive security. If it is more than 1, it is called as aggressive security. That is what we are going to take up now for discussion. Now if you take it is aggressive, what do you mean by aggressive and all that means? There will be economic cycles will have deep impact. For example, if you take, this is the economy, this is plus and this is minus over a period of time t. Now you find suppose a normal security is moving like this. The profits of normal security are minus and plus. Economic recession is good and it's falling, again depression, again recovery, again upwards. If this is beta of a security is equal to 1, then you will find this security more than 1 will behave like this. That is 1.5. If it falls more, and if it increases, the return will be more. Defensive security will be like this. This is beta value 80. So this is how expected returns are driven, and we will go further in the risk assessment models.